Cool.
All right. Ahoy, everyone. Welcome. For those who don't know me, my name is Captain Marlowe. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Oh, no, you can. Haha. Ahoy. I'm working with a new mic. Because look, it swings. Like, look at this. Look at this. An improvement. Upgrades, people. Upgrades. Anyway. So we're gonna be excuse me. Oh my gosh. I also allergies are killing me. I don't know what it is, but I like what okay. We apparently had like the highest pollen count here in Georgia in like forever. Like we've had really high pollen counts. And I went to mow one day during like one of the highest times of pollen count. Didn't affect me. I had no issues with pollen. I was like, I should be dying right now. Not an issue. Then literally this week, my throat's all scratchy. I'm like a little nasally right now, and I'm coughing, and I'm like, why now? What is it just delayed? I don't know. Anyway, ahoy everyone. Thank you guys for being here. We have some great people in chat. I see Christine, I see Hermes, I see Yamaha, Hazel, Saucy, Silly, I see Keynote Carson, I see Swolfie. Who else we got? I see Dark Shadow. I see Betty, possibly Betty, and I see Ernesto. I see Fruit. Yes, I see Pokey Girl. Ahoy, everyone! Thank you guys so much for joining. We're going to be playing Tabletop Simulator, specifically a board game called not Weeby. Here Be Monsters. It is a board game made by my dear friend Carson and Phil. We've been playing this a couple times on stream, like once a month, because they're going to be doing a Kickstarter hopefully soon, depending on some political things. But you guys know politics and blah, blah. I'm not even going to get into it. But kind of depends. But either way, I like to push the game because it's really cool. It's really well done. The art is beautiful, and it's about pirates. So what more of a better way to start a stream than with a pirate board game? So we're going to get into that here. We do have on stream my dear friend Swolfie, Mark, and then my oldest best friend from college and from just my childhood, Eric. He's also going to be joining us as well. For those who are in my Discord server, you may know him as Stocky. He is also on the crew as the crew's musician. He's our bard. But hey, without further ado, I have kept them long enough, so we're gonna go hop over there. Hope everyone's having a good day so far, and we're gonna go play some board games. And I'm going to have Eric and Mark, who have never touched the board game before, have no idea what's going on. We're gonna throw them into the thick of it, and we're going to show you guys how easy it is to pick up and how much fun it is. The board's really pretty, the art is really gorgeous, and it's just a fun time. I'm excited to play. I'm always excited to do these streams on Saturdays with Carson and Phil because it's just a really cool thing, and I'm excited to introduce my friends to it as well. So, without further ado, let's go over and say hi to the boys. To the boys. To the boys. They see, but we can't hear. Give me a second. All right. Hello. Wait, that's the wrong one. Hello. That's the right one. Hello. Oh, I screwed up. You're not. Hello.
No.
Make sure everything's working here. Discord's
Yeah.
working. Let me turn down this a little bit. The music is more of a low hum than in your face. All right. So let me introduce everybody. To my right here is Carson. He is one of the co-founders and creators of the game. He also did all the art for the game, so that's super awesome. So all the art you see, the logos, the art on the cards, the board, all this is done by Carson. And Carson, why don't you give a quick introduction of yourself, my friend?
Sure. Hi, I'm Carson. I went to SCAD with Nick, and we have some mutual friends. My friend Phil and I, who unfortunately couldn't make it today, he and I have been working on this game for like 4 years now. Just kind of started as a fun little project. We knew nothing about game design, and we're just kind of looking for an excuse to play around on making a game. And then like a year and a half ago, we kind of stopped and went, maybe we should see if this is interesting to people. And we took it to PAX East and had an incredible reception with some new play testers and just people getting a feel for the game. And then we took it to PAX Unplugged this past December, and we're hoping to launch a Kickstarter for it in the next couple of months. So if you're interested in the game, or if anyone might be interested in the game, feel free to follow us, join our email list. You'll get all the updates there. The Instagram is on the bottom of the screen here, at Here Be Monsters the Game. If you're on Instagram and you want to check us out, I think we're at 199 followers. If you want to be that 200th follower, that's pretty rad. So feel free to take a look at that. The game itself is it's a expandable card game. So it kind of has the depth of like a trading card game if you ever played like a Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or anything like that. But the goal is for it to be a lot more approachable. And to be, not a money pit that so many trading card games are. All of the cards come with the game, and then we have some really cool alternate art cards if you are interested in chasing that, but there aren't going to be any alternate cards with, different effects or anything like that. So everything is right there in the box for you to just sit down, crack it open, and play, and have a good time.
Heck yeah. Love to see it. Thank you, Carson. And real quick, before we move on to some of the other people, we had somebody ask, there's a person here said, actually, I want to create my own game. Do you have any tips?
Yes, actually. We have an art site where we talked about just kind of the timeline of the game and how we started it and what that looks like. But my biggest recommendation is, my friend Phil and I were not game designers, and so the thing that really got this to the point where it's at is we basically, for the first 2 years, every Wednesday, we hopped on a call, we played a game, and then we just talked about what was fun and what wasn't fun. And we made tweaks, and then we sat down and tried it again. And as long as you kind of have that North Star and you have a really good iteration mindset, you end up creating some really cool things. And also just being open to killing some of your darlings. You'll see on if you take a look at the art, I'll try to find the article and send it over. But we had this moment where we did a big playtest day with a bunch of our friends, like a year or two into designing the game, and we had 8 games playing, and everyone had a great time. The games were fun. It was awesome. Nick, actually, Robin was a part of that playtest.
Oh yeah.
But every single game went 2 hours long. And it's if you knew how to play the games would take 20 to 30 minutes. But we discovered that the rules were such a way that it ballooned. There were way too many stalling mechanics, and it just built into the game. And so we really sat down after that, and we were we want to maintain this feel of the game, but we really we don't want this kind of stalling. And so we actually completely revamped the rules, restructured it. And so the other thing I would say is just be open to change. Don't be precious with what you're creating. Give it its own space and time.
Nice. Great. Well, thank you, Carson. If you guys have any more questions, you're welcome to ask in sidebar, and I'll try and address those as we continue. So, but hello, everyone. Hello, Shadow. Let's introduce Swolfie, my dear friend, as well as pirate content creator, Mark. Why don't you introduce yourself, buddy? If you want.
Swolfie. Yeah, I mean, I'm just here to learn and play. And also,
all right.
I guess in theory, murder Eric with cards.
Yes. That's Eric. How you feel about that?
I don't think Mark stands a chance.
So it's funny. When I was asking people who wanted to be on stream today, I was like, well, of course I want Mark because Mark's a dear friend and content creator, as well as you're someone who likes pirate stuff. I was like, oh, I think Mark would like this. And then Eric, not only does he like pirate stuff, he's one of the more knowledgeable board game, card game people I know. Because I know, Eric, you've done Magic, and I don't know if you're still currently playing Magic, but you've done Magic.
No.
Yeah.
As Carson put it, got a little too expensive.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So, as well as huge just board game nerd, whenever I mention a board game, I'm like, oh, it looks interesting. You pop in, you're like, oh yeah, no, it's and you'll I'm like, how do you already know this? You're like, oh, I've played it like, a couple times. I'm like, I've never heard of this game. What the heck, dude? So, but anyway, that's part of the reason I'm like, I think I want to have Eric on here today. So, but hey, without further ado, Carson, why don't you introduce these lovely boys to this game?
Awesome. So as I said, the game's called Here Be Monsters. It's an expandable card game. We're going to introduce the game with a kind of like quick version of the game, just to give you guys a sense of the rules and everything before we really dive into a full game. The rules are pretty straightforward. There are three main things that you need to know to play the game. The goal of the game is, I'm going to remove these here. For the sake of starting out, we're only going to be searching for one piece of treasure, or fighting over one piece of treasure. Normally, like a full-length game, there would be 3 rounds. Your search, it's best 2 out of 3. But for this, we're just going to go after one. So this piece of treasure here, basically you play as 2 pirate captains on the Monster Coast, which is our fictional pirate world, filled with all different kinds of piratey monsters. And what you're doing is you're setting sail ships and boarding pirates onto those ships in order to out-juke your opponent and get the piece of treasure before they can. In order to search for the treasure, you need to meet 3 requirements, which are over here on the side. Those 3 requirements are: you need to have at least 1 pirate on each of your 3 ships. You can see that there are 3 spaces here for ships and 4 spaces for pirates on each ship. So you need at least 1 pirate on each of your ships. You need more firepower than your opponent. So firepower, if you look at the cards, the pirate cards are pretty straightforward. They basically have an effect and a big number. The big number is the firepower. And so you add all of them together. So say you've got 2 of these cannon catchers here. Each of them is a +2. You add those together, and that's 4. And so if you have more firepower than your opponent, that's the other requirement. And then the final requirement is you need to have 3 orders to spend. And so actions in this game are called orders. And each turn, because cards don't have resources in a normal trading card game sense, each turn you get 3 orders to spend. So to search for the treasure is pretty much using your entire turn in order to get that piece of treasure. And as such, the game itself becomes this kind of game of cat and mouse where you're trying to start your turn in such a way that you are in a better spot than your opponent. So a lot of it is outthinking your opponent, outplanning them, setting traps so that you can then activate them in such a way that you can search for the treasure and beat your opponent. When we talk about orders, each turn, as I said, you have 3 orders. So if you look at what a turn looks like, it's this scroll here. At the start of your turn, you get a free draw from your poop deck, which is your deck with your cards. Then the second thing you get to do is take 3 orders. And so with those orders, you can use an order to play a pirate, play a shanty, which is kind of like a magic card, or just draw a card from your poop deck again. So there's a lot of flexibility there. If you're not sure what to do, you can always just draw a card. And you can do any combination of those 3. You can just play 3 pirates, you can play 3 shanties, you can play, or just draw a bunch of cards. So what ends up happening is, you have your ships out, you start boarding pirates on them, different effects happen, you're trying to outmaneuver your opponent. But, what happens if your opponent just has more guys that are bigger than yours and you run out of spaces on your ships? That's where the third main component comes in, which is the scroll down here at the bottom, which is firing the cannons. And so this is a special mechanic where the moment you board your 4th pirate on a ship, so let's pretend that this cannon catcher is the 4th pirate on the ship. As soon as you do that, you turn your ship sideways, which exhausts it, and then you get to immediately fire the cannons and sink one of your opponent's ships. And then that ship goes away, and all of the pirates and shanties aboard go to Davy Jones' locker. So it's a really good way to get rid of your opponent's stuff if they're starting to kind of outmaneuver you. But you have to be careful, because if you board 4 pirates on a ship in order to fire the cannons, now you have a ship with 4 pirates aboard that makes it a really juicy target for your opponent to then fire the cannons and sink your ship. So a lot of it is being careful. You don't want to put too many good things on one ship. You want to kind of spread them out. At the same time, you have to put stuff on a single ship in order to fire the cannons. So there's a lot of kind of back and forth and nuance. The last thing that I will say here is, so say we've got these guys out. This is a shanty. So a shanty is always green, and it always has a circular picture on it instead of the square pictures that pirates have. This one here is called Navy Orders, and so when played from hand, you get to board 2 pirates, which is a great way to just get a bunch of guys out, or you can play it as a hidden shanty and only board 1. And a hidden shanty is basically where, when you play it, you actually play it face down, and you attach it to a pirate. When you do this, you've already spent the order on the shanty. And so now on any future turn, you can choose to flip it over and reveal it without costing an order. So this is a great way, as we're talking about, you want to set up your board so that when your turn starts, you can outmaneuver your opponent. This is a great way to kind of psych your opponent out where they don't know what your shanty is. And this might be enough for you to turn the tides and get that 3rd pirate that you need, or get some more firepower or something like that, in a way that surprises your opponent. The only thing to keep in mind is if the pirate that it's attached to is destroyed, the shanty itself, you have an opportunity to activate it, but sometimes it's not always the right time. And if you can't activate it, then it gets sent to Davy Jones' locker and is destroyed. Any questions on that before I walk through just a couple of cards that you're going to be encountering?
Can you go over all of that again?
I promise you, when you start playing it and you're like, okay, now it's my turn. I have the turns, and you see your turns up there. You're like, okay, like it'll make.
We'll go slowly through it, and the way we've built out the kind of new way that we're approaching the game. It holds your hand a bit. So I'll walk you through a couple of cards. Basically, we're going to just be playing with these starter half crews right here. So these 2 here. Once you guys get a feel for the game, we'll then actually be combining this half crew with one of these 3 other ones, depending on your play style, to make a full deck to play with. But let's so for example, let's say, let me just bring a ship out here. So, for example, you set sail some ships. This ship here is the Legionnaire Longship. So while this ship has a complete crew is 4 pirates aboard. All pirates aboard get +5. So as long as you've got 4 pirates on this, that's an extra 20 firepower, which is really, really strong. In terms of some pirates that you'll encounter, you've got this cannon catcher here. He does what his name is. While he's at sea, anytime your opponent fires the cannons to try to sink one of your ships, you can choose to destroy him instead of the ship, because he literally catches the cannon. We already talked about Navy Orders, which lets you play some additional pirates. Sponge Barbarian here is kind of your boss monster. You can see he's a +11, which is huge, and is really good at turning the tide, but he has this boarding restriction, which is that you need at least 5 friendly pirates at sea in order to play him. So you've got to get some pirates out before you can play him. But once you have those 5 pirates, +11 is a big swing there. Let's see. Here is the Tricorn of Dawn, which is another shanty. This lets you, when you play it, you get to basically swap a pirate from your opponent's ship onto a ship on your side opposite. So you get to, so maybe your opponent has a Sponge Barbarian and you've got a cannon catcher and you want to swap them to get more points. You can do that. The legendary Octant is an 8-pointed trident that basically you equip it to a pirate and they get +8, which can be pretty strong. And then you've got a couple of just vanilla cards here. So this is Orangutan and Lobster Tank. And they're just no effect +6s. So the better the effect, the lower the firepower. The stronger the effect, the weaker the effect, the higher the firepower, and neutral effects are kind of right there in the middle. I think there's just one other card I want to show you guys, and then we can kind of slowly find our way into a game. This guy here. So this is Mr. Manty and his magical hat. He's a cute little manatee. You can see he's a +2, which isn't very strong, but when played, you may free play a hidden shanty. So basically, when you play Mr. Manty, let's say, for example, you've got a legendary Octant in your hand. You can play the legendary Octant as a hidden shanty on your Mr. Manty, which is where his name comes from. And basically, that's a great way to kind of get an extra thing done without spending in order to do it. Which you can then reveal this hidden shanty on any future turn, including your opponent's turn. Cool. That's I know that probably feels like a lot, but we're just going to kind of ease into it one step at a time, and I'll walk you guys through kind of the first couple of rounds, and then let you guys run with it. So, I'm going to put these cards here. So this is your 25 card half deck, and then this is your shipyard deck. So you have 15 ships anytime you're playing, and you have you normally would have 50 cards in your poop deck. So your poop deck are your pirates and your shanties. But we're only going to be playing these kind of this half deck at this point, just to kind of give you ease you into it before we move on to some other cards. So so if you go ahead and look at these cards, and if you just hover over them and click R for Tabletop Simulator, that'll shuffle the decks for you. Yeah, there you go. And then once you're ready, if you want to hover over your poop deck, which is the one with the black back, and click 5, that will draw you your opening hand of 5 cards. Sweet. And then for your ships, if you bring 3 ships out face down, we'll flip them up at the start of each player's turn. And that's like setting sail your ships. Is there anything, Nick, because you've played this a couple of times, is there anything else that you think would be helpful for them to know as someone who more recently learned the game than me?
No, like, you know, it kind of does, like I said, kind of hold your hand through the beginning, and then I kind of feel like there's a nice, it's a nice kind of handhold through the beginning, and then afterwards it should be pretty straightforward. I guess if you guys have questions or stuff, or you want to ask about a card, I think it's more than, you're more than welcome to ask about a card and things like that, or Carson can look at it with you guys. But I mean, yeah, well, I'm more or less just here to watch you guys and kind of show that once you get going, the game's relatively easy. It's fun.
Yeah. Why don't we, Eric, since you have played Magic the Gathering in the past, why don't we have you first? So normally there's a free draw at the beginning and 3 orders that you spend. For the person who goes first as kind of the disadvantage to going first, you don't get a free draw that first time, and you only get 2 orders to spend. That's just the one difference the first round.
Okay.
So basically what I would recommend to start is just take a look at your cards. If you have any questions on your pirates, if not, go ahead and reveal your ships just by hovering over them and clicking F, and we can kind of talk through what each ship is and what that looks like. Sweet. Okay, some good ships here. So the first one here is the Nautical. Pirates with no effect count as 2 spaces when determining a completed crew. So, pirates with no effect, basically you only need 2 pirates with no effects in order to complete a crew and fire the cannons on this ship. It's really powerful. Avian airship, this ship cannot be sunk by a player firing the cannons. So that's great if you want to protect your guys there. Terror deck, unfortunately, is not super useful in this case. When this ship sets sail, you may destroy 1 pirate if there are any currently at sea. Terror deck is a big flip of the coin. If you'd gone second, you could have destroyed one of Mark's pirates, but unfortunately, nothing comes of that. And so then you have your 2 orders to spend. And so you can play pirates, you can play shanties, or you can just draw cards from your poop deck if you'd like.
All right.
Sorry. with a blender in the background.
That's fine.
Hardly noticed.
Okay. Play a orangutan.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
And then, as an order, we'll go ahead and draw a card.
Nice. And so then
Good
I'll
choice.
keep track of this for this game, but generally we just like to update these counters so your opponent can just see kind of where you're at firepower wise.
Okay. So I have 6.
Great, and so that's Eric's turn, and so now we'll pass it to Mark. You have a full regular turn, so you get to draw a card from your poop deck to start, and then you
When
get
do we discard down to 7 cards?
so
Is that at the end of our turn or the end of a round?
at the end of your turn, you discard
Okay.
down to 7. Yeah, good.
Cool.
Good point.
Yay! I successfully drew a card.
Woohoo! Small beginnings, small steps, small steps. Are you gonna flip your
Yeah. Okay.
F? There you go. One,
Nice.
2.
Oh, this is
Ooh,
perfect.
wow.
Okay. So, Goldfish Galleon. This ship starts exhausted. So basically, it starts sideways, which means it can never fire the cannons to sink. But to compensate for that, when this ship sets sail, you get a bonus order that turn. So this turn, you've got 4 orders to spend, which is a great place to start. The Indisputable Ironclad. This ship also starts exhausted, so it can't fire the cannons. But all pirates aboard the ship get ×2, which is really strong. And then the Skeletal Sloop isn't super useful in the beginning of a game like this, but basically once a game turn, if you play a pirate with no effect, like this orangutan on this ship, you get to play a shanty from your Davy Jones locker.
Ooh.
So it's pretty good late once you have some shanties in your Davy Jones locker. But
Yeah.
now, just
Okay. And I've got 4 orders to use.
got
3.
4 orders.
Oh, 4 orders. Sorry. No, 3.
Yeah,
3 orders. Oh, 4. No, you get that bonus one. Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
this is a
Yes,
bonus.
yes.
yeah.
I should let
learn to
Carson
play the
talk
game,
about the
Nick.
game. Yeah, I should let Carson take over for playing the game. Maybe I should let the creator, learn.
I've only played like 400 rounds of the game,
Only 400, yeah. While Mark's taking his turn, we had some questions. So somebody asked, by the way, where can I play the game, or if not, it's out yet. It's not out yet, but it will be out on Kickstarter, hopefully, pending current events with politics, but we won't get into it. So, but
Yeah.
hopefully sometime soon. But right now, we're just playtesting it, and I want to show you guys because I think this will be a fun game once it is fully out in Kickstarter.
Yes, it's right now. If you are interested in learning how to play, you can join our Discord. We haven't been super active on our Discord the last couple of months just because we've been prepping for this Kickstarter. But we do have the Tabletop Sim mod if you ever want to learn how to play on Tabletop Sim and things like that. And also just for people's clarity, like it will be a physical card game.
There you go.
So you can see some
Yeah,
cards
flip
here.
it over. Mark, were you trying to flip that over? I think it's F.
No, I want to use it.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, I'm not-
Sorry, back to the game.
Oh yeah, so
Sorry.
you could just place it. You can just place it on Abyss Battalion. Pick one.
Yeah, okay. So this is Tricorn of Dawn. So you want to swap your Abyss Battalion with the orangutan. Great. So yeah, you can just kind of put that wherever you want since it's not necessarily like attached to a card. And then when we swap the cards here, in general, we like to keep them upside down like this so that it's your opponent's card that you're kind of coming back to. Other thing to note is Abyss Battalion has this when played effect. So on the following game turn, searching for the treasure only costs you 2 orders. So that is something. It's a when played effect. So when Mark played it, it activated. So Mark, on your next turn, only costs 2 orders. Unfortunately, Eric, you don't get that effect because Tricorn of Dawn specifies that no when played activates. No when played effects activate when you swap, because it's more
Okay.
like they're kind of like sliding between decks as opposed to like really boarding a new.
Got it.
Great, and so that's two orders, Mark, and so you have 2 more to go.
Excellent.
And while Mark's doing that, I want to say hi to Kinley and Dean for joining in. Hello. As well as, yes, Kinley, when the physical card game, when it's available, it'll be out on Kickstarter. So it'll start Kickstarter, and then from there, we'll see where you can pick it up physically later. We don't know. I don't know. Like, hopefully it'll be out in many stores, in your local game shops and things like that.
That's the dream. And we, if you're interested in just keeping up to date on the Kickstarter, feel free to go to our website and just join the mailing list. That's the best way to stay up to date with any kind of news or announcement for the game. And our Instagram, we also post stuff there.
Yep. And what you guys can find is underneath where you can see the game screen is an @Here Be Monsters the Game. That's their Instagram, so you can go to it and you can find all that. Go ahead and give them a follow because they're so close to 200 followers. So give them a follow, and then there as well is their links to everything, Discord and whatnot, so you guys can see there. So, and also hello. All right, Mark, it looks
I
good.
believe it's my turn.
Yeah.
So you played an Abyss Battalion, you played a Tricorn of Dawn, you played a Lobster Tank, and then did you draw a card?
I drew a card.
Awesome. All right, Eric, it passes back to you. So you get your free draw and 3 orders to spend.
Okay. Redraw.
The one thing to note is usually, just kind of game sense, usually when I play, I get in the turn, I check, can my opponent search for the treasure on the next turn? And so you look at Mark's side and be like, oh, he does have more firepower than me, but he only has 1 pirate on two ships. He needs a pirate on his last ship. But because he played that Abyss Battalion, it's only going to cost him 2 orders to search for the treasure next turn. So there is a possibility there.
True.
Let me know if you want any thoughts or advice, or if you just kind of want to play through it on your own. I'm happy to be as nosy as you'd like, or not.
Right. I think first order, play Lobster Tank.
Cool.
Second order, draw a card.
Nice.
Does firing the cannons cost a order?
It does not. It is a free action that happens immediately when you complete a crew, and if you don't take that action, then you can't take it at any point in the future. So.
Ooh.
Oof.
All right. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Fire the cannons.
So now you get to pick which of your opponent's ships you would like to sink.
You know, I don't like that ironclad.
Oh.
I'm gonna get rid of the ironclad.
Yeah, the ironclad.
No, it's my specialty.
So this goes to your ship graveyard, and everything aboard goes to your Davy Jones locker.
Ooh.
And so you now mark on when your turn starts, you get to reveal your new ship and see what it is. Eric, I believe that was your 3rd order.
Yep.
Great.
Played and cannon was free. Yep. Mark's turn.
All right.
Hard to remember this. All right, so Flippy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Airship
very
battle
useful.
going on here.
Yeah, I know. Got some airship pirates. Let's go.
Maybe the airships can only be sunk by other airships, so it'd be kind of fun.
That actually would be pretty cool.
Oh, that's a cool idea, actually.
Little story time here. While Mark's thinking about his turn, I taught my parents how to play this game for the first time like 2 weeks ago, because this is not really their kind of game. So it was quite an experience trying to explain the rules and get them on board. But they both really liked the airship. There was something about just like, oh great, I don't need to worry about it getting sunk. Cool. It was great hearing my parents just like get really excited about when they revealed an airship. By the time they stopped playing, they're like, whoa, airship.
Oh, Kenley, you're fine. You guys are welcome to ask questions. We'll answer them as we can. I also don't want to like take away from Mark and Eric focusing. So, but
I'm focusing so hard, my dumb barbarian brain.
so cosplaying. Where would you place to start? Oh gosh, that's such a tough question. Honestly, I started my first cosplay was just a Goodwill. You know, I just went to Goodwill. Was like, I have an idea for a pirate, and I was like, I want to find a trench coat. I want to find some cheap stuff, and then I want to try and just build off of it. And then from there, I just went to Ren fairs, festivals, and got things I thought would look well on my pirate. So honestly, thrift storing, that's where I would start with any cosplay. You done, Mark?
That's good. Yeah, I drew 2 cards and I played one.
All right.
Cool.
What'd you play? Oh, another Best
So yeah,
Battalion.
that's this battalion again. So on Mark's next turn, it will still only cost 2 orders to search for the treasure, which is good.
All right, Eric.
Right. We are going to go ahead and draw free card at the start of the game. I'm gonna play Navy orders.
Cool.
And pirates. So let's play.
Or 2 pirates.
Is it on 2 separate ships or on 1 ship?
It can be either.
Okay. We're going to play the Giant Sponge.
So Sponge Barbarian has that boarding restriction where you have to have 5 pirates
Yeah.
out in order to play him.
All right,
Unfortunately,
all right.
unfortunately, Navy Wars doesn't get around that.
All right.
I
will
tried to do that
play-
too. My first time, I was like, I want a big boy.
Cool. Another lobster tank.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cannon catcher's good.
Play Cannon
Yeah.
Catcher.
And now you do have 5 pirates out for what it's
So,
worth.
So
I guess for your third order.
one second
Second order.
Yeah, third order.
Oh, no, it would be your
I
second
drew.
order. Oh, you drew.
I drew. No, that was a free draw. That's right.
Free draw. So you should have 2 orders left, yeah.
All right. Draw again. And now that I have 5 pirates,
Yes.
my third order is going to be playing SpongeBob the Barbarian. I mean, Sponge Barbarian.
that was very much the inspiration for him. Was like Sponge Barbarian. Yep,
Yep, that's it now.
yeah. Fantastic. Also, just for what it's worth, Navy orders are Little Abyss Battalion guys.
They're a little
Same.
Bisque battalion.
Oh, so
Oh.
this question. I did
Yep.
fire my ship last turn. Was it untap at the beginning of my turn?
No, so basically each ship can only fire once. So
Okay.
you've got to be careful about kind of when you want to use that.
Okay.
Cool. There is the opportunity if a more nuanced rule that I don't expect you guys to at this stage. If you want, once a turn without costing an order, you can scuttle a ship and destroy it and everything aboard and bring out a new ship. But I wouldn't
Okay,
really
'cause-
worry about that at this stage.
Well, I mean, scuttling my Patera deck ship wouldn't have been a bad idea. So it's just kind of useless.
Yeah.
But for the
It's-
future.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I found that people who've like played trading card games before really get excited about scuttling early on. So I'm never sure exactly when to mention it. But yeah, that's definitely an option to explore. And also, I mean, the thing to be careful of though is if you do run out of ships, you lose the game. It's hard to do, but if you're scuttling a bunch of your ships, it's a little bit easier for your opponent to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Wow, 33 firepower, and passes to Mark.
Good. I forgot about the free draw my last turn, so that was stupid.
Oh, do you want another draw?
Oh no, I made the mistake.
Okay.
Mark's like, I'm playing on
No,
hard
let's see.
mode.
Yep.
While Mark is waiting for his turn, doing his turn, hello Phantom and Call Sign and Pokegirl has a question saying, what inspired you to create this game?
Oh, so I think, growing up, Phil and I, the co-creator, like, we both loved the concept of trading card games. There's so much personality expression in a game where you like create your own deck, and you're almost like a mini game designer because you get to decide the kind of way you want to approach the game. But we really struggled with just the cost implications of trading card games. It's like there's a new set every 3 months, and you have to spend like $50 to $100 to get anything that's reasonable there. And there's this whole meta that exists that you just don't understand. And so a lot of this was us sitting down and like wanting to make something that kind of satisfied that childhood dream of playing something that was just a little bit more approachable. And yeah, and then when it comes to actual gameplay, I think the two core things that stuck with us were the firepower. Like, we just wanted one big number. We didn't want all these little numbers and stuff. It's just like each card has one big number. And we also really liked the idea of when a ship is sunk, everything aboard goes away. So you have to be really careful about where you put it. And those were kind of the two guiding principles.
Nice.
Sorry, I need to be careful answering questions. I tend to ramble.
No, that was good. That was good. That's why we're streaming, Carson, so you can tell your story.
I know. So Mark, I see you played your orangutan on the skeletal sloop, which lets you.
Does activating that ability, does that count as an order?
No. So you that's a nice little combo that you put there. So one order to play orangutan, and then you get to free play this Tricorn of Dawn.
Excellent. And then it gets. But where would I put it to remove from the game? So over here?
Yeah, just off to the side. Yeah.
So I see you also
Useful.
tapped your ship, Mark. Does it get tapped when the effect gets used?
No. So the
Oh, does
the
it?
ship, no, the ship remains as it is. It only gets tapped when you fire the cannons.
That's the only time. Got it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna switch this guy.
Nice.
You stole my sponge.
Ooh.
You sunk my battleship.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so let's see here. 6. So that's
Wrong game too, Mark. Let's be honest.
is that 21? Yeah. Oh, you were so close. You could have looked for the treasure. I want to add up, make sure I did all. 18.
No, it's 23.
Wait.
Yep.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think Eric has 24.
Oh, so
So
close.
I think because like right 12, 8,
So
16,
18 plus
that's another
6,
6,
24.
24. Yep.
Yeah.
24.
Oh,
Oh,
so close.
Boom.
dang, that would have been so
So,
good.
so is this one over here? Is the goldfish galleon not exhausted now?
No, so the
Oh, it
Goldfish
is.
Galleon specifically specifies that it starts exhausted. So
Yeah.
you can't ever. There are a couple of ships that have really good initial effects, but then can't fire the cannons
Oh, okay.
for it.
Understood. So now it can never be used to fire the cannons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got it. Tracking.
And to answer Phantom's question, yes, Phantom, everyone is welcome to join the crew.
I was so close. I was so close.
While you're thinking about that, I just want to show off. We will have alternate arts for the game if people want to get alternate arts.
Oh, nice.
So like this is the regular artwork of Coconut, and then the feral Coconut when he goes a little mad.
I love it.
And then here are 2 separate alternate arts for Reef Ronin.
Ooh.
Just 2 different versions, and then the amazing artist Jack Burke did a version of Broadsideosaurus that I couldn't
I
find
love
a
that
regular.
one. I love
he did
Broadsideosaurus. It's such a good alternate art.
He did such a great job on that. So,
All right, so you still have 2 turns, don't you? Or I guess you just drew, so you have 1 more.
Yeah.
Two cards.
No, that was my
Was
free.
that-
Huh?
No, I already drew a free one. Then I played the. I'm good. I've used my action economy.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
just drew a card for my free card, so now I'm getting ready to take my turn. I'll have to bump my
Ooh.
numbers here. So 5,
Seven.
6, 7, 8.
Nice.
So I'm way ahead of Mark, hopefully. And then I am going to play a tricorn.
Ooh.
Get my sponge back.
Get my sponge back.
So you just added 9 to yours, and we taking 9 from Mark.
So I'm now at 41.
Mark should be at 14. Yep. Oof. Oof.
One thing to just to think about with this game that we've noticed over the years is there is this kind of unique feeling to this game versus a lot of trading card games where you get to the end of your turn and you're like, wow, my turn was so broken, there's no way I can lose. And then your opponent does the same thing, and they end their turn going like, wow, that was so broken, there's no way my opponent can. It's a very swingy. Swingy.
Yep.
I like it.
I need to prepare here because I can't take the treasure this turn, but how do I take the treasure next turn? So, and how do I prevent certain things from happening? And I do that by playing this. And then, Mark, sorry, not sorry. I think
Can
I'm
you-
gonna blow up.
I don't think you can
So-
fire the cannons.
Yeah, so to fire the cannons, you need to board your 4th pirate on a ship.
Oh, I need all 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's down here
in that
when you board your
case,
4th part.
I will not fire the cannons. Mark, you're safe for now.
I'm not sorry.
But it does pop me up to 43.
Huh.
Yeah, this game is one of those where you're like, it flops back and forth real quickly who's winning and who's losing.
I also, one of my favorite things teaching people the game is starting to get a sense of kind of like what your inherent play style is, like how each person wants to play the game.
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm getting the vibe for both of you guys. It was fun playing with Nick, and I think Nick, the last half deck you played was the mystical half deck.
That was so
And-
fun.
And I
That's
think,
a
yeah,
fun
that's very
deck.
much
That's my
your-
favorite deck.
your style.
God, it was so
And
fun.
Once we wrap this one up, if you guys are still up for playing a game, I'd love to introduce the other half decks, which adds some interesting variety that I think you guys enjoy.
Yeah, I really
Weekend,
like
baby,
using
I
it.
got no plan.
I really like using the mystical deck because it's one of those decks that it's a sneaky deck. You know, it's one of those like, you know, you're supposed to be sneaky and like mysterious when you're doing stuff because there's just so many shanties. So
You're very much
I love
playing your opponent. So Mark, did you wrap up your turn?
That was
Or
my
just-
turn.
Okay. So Mark,
I thought you were-
it's
I thought you were-
You didn't
Oh,
have
your turn?
anything?
Oh no, I just
Did
I
you
didn't
draw?
go.
Oh, you didn't go. Oh. Yeah, go. Use your turn.
Yes.
Gosh, Mark, play the game.
Don't rush him, Nick. He's in a very stressful spot right now. He's got maybe a quarter of my firepower.
I tell you, I did kind of set Mark up to a disadvantage because I had him face Eric. And
oh
Eric's
my god,
really
you guys
good.
have so many tricorns of
Trike,
dawn.
you guys are all just
Yep.
trading crewmates. That's my
Well, this is my
crewmate. That's
second
my
one though. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
take my sponge again.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
I really
I-
need like a note card or like a counter spell or something.
So Eric, for what it's worth, I think you would really enjoy the clever half deck, and it
Uh-huh.
has a card that prevents that pirate's shipmates from moving around.
Yeah, like the mystical deck is a lot of fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun.
It's I recommend the mystical deck once you have a firm grasp on the game. It can be a little overwhelming if you don't know the nuance, because the mystical deck you're very much playing your opponent as opposed to like playing the game. You know,
Yeah.
you're kind of psyching them out a little bit.
okay.
Bye,
Gotta
Kenley.
do
Thanks for
this.
stopping by.
Mark. Just one. And
Oh.
Drop the Navy orders.
You did your free draw this turn too, Mark?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So I get to play 2 for the cost of 1, right? Double check that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, girl, I see your question.
Ships.
I'm definitely gonna answer it in a second.
Lobster tank.
That's
I'm gonna
35.
Use this thing's ability
Ooh.
to do the tricorn again.
Damn.
We're gonna swap the lobster tanks. Does the
Interesting.
equipment come with it?
The equipment does come with it, yeah.
Oh! Oh! Dang. Okay, so you just got 8. And Eric, you just lost 8. Oh. Oh. God, see, that's such a flop. Because, like, Mark was only at 14, Eric was at 41. Now we're at 43 and 26.
I'm not
What
sure I'd
is-
call that a flaw. I'd call that a game quirk.
It's a game court.
That builds
Oh.
tension.
It does. It does. Oh,
Yeah, it does.
it almost
So,
is. I'm tense. I'm getting tense just watch.
So one thing I want to mention, because I don't think any of you guys have played a Mr. Manti yet, but
Nope.
one thing to keep in mind is when you play a hidden shanty, because it doesn't cost an order to then reveal that hidden shanty, that can be a way to maybe catch your opponent off guard because they're not aware of what you have there. So I would keep that in mind as you guys are playing through that. Hidden shanties are powerful things.
Phil's not here today, but Phil loves to like put a hidden shanty down and be like, "Oh, you don't know what it is," and I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah, he just likes playing the psych out game of,
Yeah.
of just like, ooh, are you sure you want to search for the treasure?
Now that I
Um,
have 5 out, I'll use my final order
Oh!
Wait, didn't you just board a lobster tank here?
No.
No.
I put the tank center and then using the. So I played the orders so I could play two pirates for the cost of one, basically.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
that's pretty-
Sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. You moved this lobster tank there just to grab Tricorn Dawn, and I got mixed up. I see.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, so you didn't put it.
That's a beefy turn.
Yep. How many? What do I got now? Shit.
I have no idea. 43 sound correct? 22
plus 18, 30, 40 plus 48, 54.
Oh, okay. So I was way off.
That's at least
This is
that's what I've. 54.
Makes sense to
Oh yeah,
me.
because he had 43 plus the Sponge Barbarian.
Oh man.
All right, so that's your turn. Passes back.
That's my beefy game flipping turn.
Eric, you gotta sink a ship. Like...
I can't anymore.
Oh man.
All right. Draw my one free card.
While Eric's doing his turn, let me ask. Pokegirl asked me, or asked you, in particular, what did you use to make the game? So, like, what did you use for the art? And then, I mean, you didn't for the art. You were able to just put it into this simulator.
Yes, yeah. So we're playing the game in Tabletop Sim, which is a game on Steam that's basically just a board game physics engine. And honestly, without Tabletop Sim, this game wouldn't have happened because my co-creator and I lived on two separate sides of the country, and so we needed some way to play test not in person. And so I love Tabletop Sim, but the game is so much more fun in person. In terms of the artwork, people get on my case about this because they're crazy. But I do everything in Apple Keynote, which is the Mac version of PowerPoint. I think I'm the only person on the planet that uses Keynote as an art software. But
You're the only person on the planet uses Keynote.
I think it works. It's basically just like a lot of vector shapes and layers. So some of the more intricate ones are like 1,000 different shapes. But I don't know.
Crazy.
I think it's fun. We're trying to get Apple to notice, but I don't know if they want someone using Keynote as an art software.
I mean, anyone using Keynote in general.
All right, Eric, I saw you were doing some stuff while we were chatting. You dropped, I think, another lobster tank.
I dropped another tricorn, and I got my lobster tank with my
Nice.
Triton back.
Yep.
And then I just drew 2 cards.
Oh, sweet.
So. And I've already adjusted the numbers.
Okay.
Hopefully they're right. Double check my math.
12, 16, 28, plus 8, 36, 38. Yep, it's good on this side. 22 plus 18, 30. I think this is 42, right?
I think so, yeah.
42 looks right.
Plus 18, 30, 40. Yeah, 42.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Passes back to Mark.
Mark.
Also, just for what it's worth, each of the cards has little flavor text at the bottom, just that's kind of silly. And the legendary Octant is a trident. Bah! Forge me something at least 266% more pointy.
It's also one of those, I like it.
That's Mark. You could search for the treasure.
I was about, no, I need one more pirate.
No, he has all of his pirates.
How many pirates do you need to
You just need a pirate,
You need
one on each ship.
We need 2 on each.
ship?
No, one on, at least one pirate on each ship.
Oh, at least 1. You're right. Okay, I thought it was 2 for some reason.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine.
That's okay. That's it's all part of the learning experience.
Oh, you can search for
Okay.
treasure.
And I gotta use all the orders to search for the treasure, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So basically the process, and this is new, Nick,
Reorder.
but to help new players kind of understand the process, basically you declare that you're searching for the treasure, and you grab a coin and put it on one of your ships. And basically once you do that, your opponent has an opportunity to reveal any hidden shanties or anything like that. And then you take a look at the numbers and see where it lands. And if you're successful, you keep the treasure. And if you fail, the treasure goes back to the center.
Nice.
Nice.
YOLO. I'm going to.
You mean yo ho? That's what you mean.
You only hoe once. Wait.
Keep PG there, buddy.
I don't care.
Yo
My-
ho! What are you talking about?
yeah. What was pirates? What the heck, Eric? Keep your mind out of the gutter.
Yarr.
Like,
Great. So yeah, this would be Mark. You successfully got the treasure. Very close
yay!
there.
And Pirate
Um,
Passion, can I now flip the table?
Sure. Yeah. If you want
Yeah,
to.
flip the table.
Arr! You be a cheater!
Yeah.
Yeah,
for those
that's
who,
what pirates
those-
do.
All
For
right.
those who
well-
don't know Tabletop Simulator, there's a great button where you flip the table, and it's wonderful.
right.
But then you can bring it back. Great. Well, thank you guys so much for giving that a try. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy to if you want to try some more stuff. We basically have these half decks that you combine them with that kind of change up the play styles a little bit, make them a little bit more spicy. If you guys have time and want to play that, or
Yeah.
Nick, if you want to jump in, if you have any thoughts or anything you want to talk about or any questions,
No,
you can also.
go. I'm so down to watch Mark and Eric. Do you guys want to try to add some half decks together? See how you guys do?
So, just a bit of critique. Take it or
Yeah.
leave it. So the turns are called orders, right?
Each action is an order. Yeah.
Each action's an order? Okay. So... in that case, I misinterpreted something that's on my end, so you're good to go.
No worries, no worries. And I mean, honestly, if there's anything, the game's a lot easier to teach in person. It's a little harder online. But if there's anything that you guys feel like could have been taught better or communicated better, also, please let me know. Because we're always looking to improve on how we teach these things.
Seemed pretty straightforward. Pretty easy to pick up. Like I said, I learned by doing, so
Yeah. Cool. Sweet. Well, then what I would recommend is, so basically this is the starter half deck that you guys were playing with. This is all designed with cards to kind of help encourage certain play styles and certain ways to play the game. And then we have these additional 3 half decks here. There is the Fearless crew, which is basically big, beefy, stompy monsters, big points, big swings. The Clever half crew is much lower points, more interesting effects to kind of play around with and kind of control the board and mess with your opponent's head. And then there's the Mystical half deck, which is it plays with a lot of shanties, and it plays with kind of like playing with your opponent's head as opposed to like you necessarily like playing the board. This is the one Nick was talking about he really liked. The Mystical half crew is really good, but it's definitely harder. Like once you know the game, it's a lot easier to use. But I would only recommend it if you're feeling pretty confident at this stage. So yeah, what I would recommend is taking and combining them with your starter half crew. Cool. And then where are we missing? We're missing these two.
Oh, okay, there it goes. Mike just decided to disconnect, so sorry about that.
No worries.
What I was saying is, why don't you go ahead and set up another one? Because one of my favorite cards is the Greater Sandwich. I just love that card art so much. Also, just the pun and like it's a cool ass looking card. So I think I love the Mystical Half. I think it's a lot.
How do I
Does
rotate
someone
this
want to
game?
play Mystical?
F is to rotate. Oh, F is to flip.
The whole
What's
table?
the rotate? Oh, rotate is in like turn the table.
Yeah,
Are you?
so-
Do you have a mouse?
I do.
So when you it's hold right. It's hold right click, and to rotate.
Cool.
You
Thanks.
can
And
also
then-
use the you can also use the arrow keys.
Yeah.
The arrow keys will.
Will also rotate, but and then you can use the wheel. Click down on the wheel to like pan.
Presuming, yeah. I was just on Eric's side.
You
Oh.
you were playing on Eric's side the entire time.
No, not the entire time, but once the
Oh.
game came, yeah. Once
Came
the
back?
table was
Oh.
done being flipped.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Hey Eric, which one are you gonna go with?
Eric,
Or did he already choose?
did we lose you?
Yeah, we may-
Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
No, I muted my headset for a sec while I got some water.
You're
I'll
good.
go ahead and let you choose, Mark.
Discord just decided to freak out on me anyway. Thank you, Discord.
Nice.
It's
Good-
fine.
good
If
call there.
I fixed itself, but
Just to walk you through a couple of cards, Mark. So, you're gonna have a lot of no effect pirates, which have stronger firepower and interact with those no effect ships more. So that's pretty fun. You also have this really fun card, Mollusk Mania, which
yeah.
basically you attach it to a ship, and when played and at the start of each of your turns, you get to free play a pirate onto that ship. So it's a great way to start filling up a ship pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, you've got Top Gallant Knight here, which is the card that I actually think I mixed up which deck it was in, but this card basically protects his shipmates. So none of his shipmates can be destroyed, moved, or returned to your hand directly by card effects, which can be pretty handy. And then Mooring Monk here. You might be like, Mooring Monk, he's got +0, he's not great. But when played, you get to board a pirate with no effect from your Davy Jones locker onto this pirate's ship. So any of your pirates with no effect that are destroyed, when you play Mooring Monk, you can bring them out.
it's
kinda get a two-
good. Is good.
Oh, and then lastly, for your big stompy stuff, you've got a Monster Musketoon, which when you equip it to a pirate, it cannot be played as Hidden Shanty. When you equip it to a pirate, that pirate gets ×2 for every pirate on the ship opposite it.
Holy.
You can make some really big stompy guys pretty quick.
Yeah.
This is my playstyle.
Yeah, the way that I've described playing with the fearless half is like they're big boy tinky boys. Clever half is just like sneaky rogues. And mystical half is like all of your like spellcasters.
So yeah, so a couple of ones here for the clever. You've got your Reef Ronin, which is great. When played, you send a pirate, friendly or not, back to their owner's hand. So this can be if you want to get an effect a second time, you can send your own guy back and then play it again. Or you can send one of your opponent's pirates back, which is really nice. You've got Wave in a Bottle, which when played, you get to exhaust one of your opponent's ships, so they can't fire the cannons with that ship. You've got a Peg Legacy, which is basically just when played, your opponent can't search for the treasure on the next. So it's a
Nice.
great way to kind of stall things out. If Hidden Shanty starts being played, Lightning Wheels, when played, you get to destroy all of your opponent's Hidden Shanties. So it's a good way to stall them. Monsoon Force. Basically, when you play this, you get to move 2 of your opponent's pirates to any other ship, and if a crew is completed, they don't fire the cannon. So that's another good way to kind of mess with your opponent a bit. And then, lastly, this is pretty straightforward. But Flintlock Fury, when played, if your opponent has more pirates than you get to destroy one of the enemy's pirates. Oh, sorry,
Nice.
two more. This is Quartermaster 95. He's one of those like control-y cards where he's only a +1, but while at sea, your opponent can only spend orders to play pirates on their ship or ships with the fewest pirates. So it's a good way to keep your opponent from firing the cannons, because the only way to kind of build out a ship is to play across a bunch of different ships. And then lastly, this one, it might be the most confusing, but is really fun. The Shipside Shelling Corp. Basically, whatever ship he's on, anytime any ship is exhausted, so whether it's exhausted because they're firing the cannons or they're exhausted because you get to kind of take a little pot shot across and destroy a pirate on the ship opposite Shipside Shelling Corp.
Oh, nice.
So anyways, those are most of your stuff, and if you have any questions, let me know. And I'm just gonna put all these back, and yeah, we'll go from there.
This should be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't Mark, since Eric went first last time, why don't we have you go first this time?
All right, and then don't draw a card.
Yeah.
You do not draw a card, and you only get 2
5.
orders.
The original 5, right? And 2 orders.
Yeah,
Yep.
original 5 and 2 orders.
Yes, I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you're not seeing all the chat, everybody, it's because it's spread out against both. I usually have like a chat up on screen here so you guys can see it, or up on stream. But right now there's so many awesome people here, so we don't have that one. All right, what you got, Mark?
See, I got the Bladeheim. So when the ship completes a crew, gain 1 extra order.
Oh, nice.
That could be useful.
Yeah, it is.
And the Nautaclaw, pirates with no effect down as 2 spaces. Super useful. And then the Treehouse Hullentine. Once per game, when a pirate with no effect boards the ship, gain an extra order.
That's
Sorry,
really nice.
what's the game turn? So that's a game turn is like when it goes back and forth between both players.
Yeah, so it's on your next turn kind of thing. Once per game turn.
Yeah, these are all
I was
good ships.
about to
And
say.
for what it's worth, each ship is based on a pirate. So I'll just for funsies, I'll point out if you play any pirates that match their ships.
I was about to say, all right, extra turns and big boys don't bode well together.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a barbarian with action surge.
Yep.
The one
Yeah.
good thing is if any one of his guys gets really strong, it gives you an opportunity to destroy that guy and
Yeah.
swoop in.
Correct.
So I could, in theory, I'm assuming, play this guy here, and then I'm back up to 2 orders.
Exactly. Yep.
Mhm.
We really wanted to keep a nice balance. Like in most games, vanilla cards aren't good, but we wanted vanilla cards to like have a use if you like playing that particular way.
Wow.
So you can see Wave Wolf here. His ship is the Nautaclaw. They're kind of
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant to do. Sorry, that was me. I meant to press Alt.
good.
Well, I'm just going to do this then.
Yeah. We love to see
Appreciate
it.
Great. So that's your turn, and then it passes to Aaron.
Yeah.
All right.
What you got?
All right, I got my Ironclad, which is nice.
Oh, you got
Your
your
Legionary
Wow.
longship. While this ship is a complete crew, gets +5, and the Pyramid Prow. While this ship is at sea, every time you play a shanty or hidden shanty, draw a card. Nice.
Ooh.
Pyramid Prow was one of my favorites in the
That'd be
starter set.
really good with the Mystic deck.
It was really good with the Mystic deck. I was having like I said, the Mystic deck, you get a good pull. It's like, yeah, you're cruising. That was a lot of fun.
All right. I drew my 5 cards to start the game. A 1 card to start the turn. So I have 6 cards. Let's see what I got here.
Yeah, the game is really amazing.
Oh,
I'm glad you guys liked the Minecraft movie. That's awesome. I've not seen it. I don't have any need to see it, but I'm glad you guys liked it. Let me see. Do we have any other questions you guys have in chat while Eric's making doing his turn here? You may be right, Chu. Ooh. Ooh.
nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Oh, oh. Ooh.
So that bumps you up to 12, 16.
Times 2.
Uh,
Oh, no,
the
no, no,
16
that is
no,
time.
16.
It's times 2. Okay, it is times 2. Sorry.
Did you? Is that your third order, or did you? Do you still have?
I think you still have one order.
No,
don't you?
I still have 1 more.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Also, just for what it's worth, we've got these 3 starter half decks, but we have 183 unique cards, and so we have like another 12 half decks for people to play around with in the expansions.
Wow.
So these are all cards to help you learn the game, but there are some really, really weird ones that do some other crazy stuff. Let me see if I can actually find.
And like the nice part about this game is that you have like decks that you can add on to the half deck, but you can also mix and match at your own rate and create your own like OP deck. Which is the cool part. You don't have to just play it with just decks here. We're just doing that because it's just easier for us right now.
Yeah, and I think it's fun because I've talked to a lot of my friends that are they're a lot more into board games than they are like trading card games, and so for them the idea of deck building just isn't interesting, but they still really enjoy playing because they can just take 2 half decks and slap them together.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a nice little versatility there where
I like that.
if you like deck building, you can get so deep in it. Honestly, my favorite are singleton decks where there's only 1 of each card in the deck. They're so fun.
Oh, nice.
And then I just one card to show off how weird some of the cards get. This is Cannon Boo. He is a ghost that possesses cannonballs.
Oh, wow.
And so literally he's a +0, but when your opponent fires the cannon, you can free play this card from your hand and eat the cannonball and board him on a ship, and he becomes a +4 on that ship. So he's a really fun one when your opponent thinks they're about to sink one of your ships, and instead you get a +4.
Jeez.
You possess the cannonball.
That's
so,
really cool.
You get some really weird stuff deeper you get into the game. Anyways, back to the game.
It is your turn. Yep, Mark's turn.
Okay. Yep. Drawn. Boop. Ah. Card. Yes.
Oh, how would you put the game in Apple Store or Microsoft? I don't actually know. I don't think. How would you? People are asking how would you put an app game? That's probably.
It's something we've talked about. Is like
stuff.
building a digital version of the game that you could play
Yeah.
on like your iPhone and stuff. But it's we're eager to get the physical game out first. But people can always play in Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
if you wanna practice.
So yeah, if you want to join the Discord, you can get the key code over there to play it on with your friends on Tabletop Simulator, which is a PC and Apple game. So
on Steam. So Mark, it looks like you dropped a second Wave Wolf, really thematically completing Nautaclaw.
Yep.
And so you're gonna fire the cannons, I assume.
I'm gonna fire the cannons.
Sweet. And then Mark or Eric, you got 2 cannon catchers if you want to catch that cannonball.
Okay, so can I even catch a cat? So does Mark choose a ship which he wants to destroy?
Mark does choose a ship. The cannon catcher can actually catch a cannonball on any ship, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I kind of figured it didn't matter what ship I chose. He's gonna catch the cannons.
unless Eric wants to get into your mind, really start to understand the inner workings of Mark's strategic approach or something.
I'm curious what ship you're gonna attack.
The exhausted one, because that could end up being a threat later on for sure.
Okay. Yep, I'm gonna have to cast that cannon, I think. So take one of these guys and throw them in the discard pile.
Yep.
All right.
The cannon catchers come from an island of these little Oni demons that they just love the adrenaline of being in harm's way, and so they just regularly practice catching cannonballs. They're a little masochistic.
Okay, while you guys are doing that, thank you, Swaggy. That's very nice of you to say. And question: how many people are able to play? It's a 2-player game. It's a card game, so like one person versus another.
So we are experimenting with like multiplayer free for all formats.
Oh,
it's the only thing we recommend is it just that everyone who plays knows the game.
Yeah.
So like there are multiplayer ways to play, but it's hard to learn the game in a wide multiplayer format. And the games run a little bit longer, but there's a lot of fun table politics that you can play around with. So yeah.
Your go, Eric.
Okay.
I just did a card.
Because kind of to that point, if we were playing a 3-person game, cannons, Eric could use his cannon catcher to like catch one of like if my ship was being targeted and Eric and I were like, well, we can't let Mark win, Eric could use his cannon catcher to protect him. Like you get some really weird dynamics. So
that's cool.
There is the potential for multiplayer out there. It's not perfectly fine-tuned yet, but we're getting there.
Okay. I'll go look and see what Eric's up to over here. And yes, Tabletop Simulator on Steam. Yes. Hopefully that answers everyone's question. Yeah. Ooh.
And a quick side note, my brother's actually in the chat on Twitch. I've been texting them on the side. He said as soon as it comes out, he's gonna buy a little
heck
bit
yeah.
and donate it to his the whole nerd brewery.
Hell yeah. Love to see it.
Yeah, brewery is a great place to play this game.
Yeah. It's a really fun, like, it's really easy to pick up. That's what I like about it. That's why I was like, I think it would be good to have 2 people who've never played it before come in and play. Because I think it's just really fun to see what your guys' play style is as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and for anyone who, again, wants to kind of stay up to date, follow us on Instagram. Oh, someone did follow us on Instagram. We're up to 200 followers.
Woo! Thank you guys. Let's go. 200. Let's go.
As well as if you check out our website, there's a link to join our email list. And, we don't email a lot, but it'll just keep you up to date on when we're launching and cool things that we're doing, gameplay, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is
and
actually.
if you join our email list and join the stuff early, you might even get some like free cards. Who knows?
Ooh.
Okay, Mark, your turn.
Yeah,
Another cannon catcher. You
You son of a gun.
Yes,
That's
the word.
but
I
like
was
that's
trying
the
to
way
use.
you counter the big buff people is make sure they can't attack you.
Yeah, basically.
Wait, I need a pirate in the future named Son of a Gun.
Oh my gosh, you sure do.
And it's
There you
actually the son
go.
of a gun.
DLC.
I love this game already. This is fantastic.
I'm
So I
gonna
had a
post
question.
the Instagram here real quick. I'm gonna post the Instagram on both YouTube and Twitch so you guys can see it and go give them a follow, y'all. Keep up to date. Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
To Carson, had you ever considered
Yeah.
thinking about doing a commander style game, like having
Like free for all.
Magic the Gathering? Well, like you have a Magic the Gathering, how you have a commander card.
Yeah, it's something that we're definitely keeping in mind. I think that would probably be something either for the players to come up with some unique approaches, but also like I think down the line we'd love to explore different options. We're even thinking about down the line of a cooperative version where you're playing against like evil pirates and you're collectively working against them. But yeah, Commander definitely seems like an interesting way to play it as well. Are you a big Commander player?
We when my friends and I get together when we play Magic, it is usually commander.
Yeah,
For that.
I've only played
Mm.
Commander once, and there's still a lot that I don't understand about Commander, but I hear it's the most fun way to play Magic. Also, as a side note, Nick, I just posted in our little thread a link to that article that I mentioned about kind of like what went into the game design. I forget who it was who asked that question, but if they want to take a look,
Oh, yeah.
that's
I'll
That's
share this. I'll share this after the stream on
Yeah,
Discord if
no.
you guys want to check it, so that you guys can go check out the Discords. Like, go check out mine. Go check out Here Be Monsters. Like, go check them all out. That'll encourage you. Go check it out. So
And that's the end of my turn.
cool.
nice.
Jeez, 37. Oh, and you've got your Bladeheim is primed to.
Oh shoot, yeah. We were not. I was not watching yours at all.
Woo.
I was too busy answering questions. But Hodek.
Yeah. I drew a card, then I played one over here so I could
Mhm.
get an extra order, and then I just dropped 2 more cards.
Dang.
And Bladeheim is very strategically placed.
Nice. Ooh.
Bladeheim is Sword Beast's ship, and Sword Beast is my spirit animal. So I hope he makes an appearance in this game.
I think he's definitely in Mark's deck. So
Yeah.
all right,
Thrown into
back
my
to
other
Eric.
spirit animal.
Oh, you don't have Instagram? That's all right. They have their website. You guys can go check out their website as well. Or actually, in that case, I will post the article to the website so you guys can keep them update there while Eric is doing his turn.
Yeah. Oh, this is a tough spot to be in, Eric. I don't know what's in
Yeah,
your
it
hand.
is.
But yeah, if you can sink a ship or have a shanty that might mess him up like a monsoon force or something.
There you go. That's a link to their website. You guys go check them out there if you want as well, for those who don't have Insta. Yeah.
And on Discord, we're not super active on Discord yet. We've just got a lot of other stuff going on, but we do have a couple of people that are always interested in playing. We can set up some games to teach new players if anyone's interested.
What would a Captain Marlowe 7S half deck in Here Be Monsters look like? Now, that's a good question.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
We've talked about an alternate art for Captain Marlowe.
Yeah.
I still want to do. Need to
Hey.
find some time.
Yeah, we gotta find some time to sit down. That'd be fun.
That'd be really fun. Because I think we actually figured out what like card it would be an alternate art of.
I think
Um,
we did sit down and talk about it. Yeah.
It was.
All
I
right.
think it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, unfortunately, I cannot do anything. Mark, I think you
Oh,
got this
no!
game.
Oh
Yep.
no!
So, so this is where like we're still playing kind of expedition mode, which is where you're just playing to one. This is where like in a real like proper game you would go to best 2 out of 3. And so like this is where there's kind of a strategy to like, oh, if I'm not going to win, I'm just going to draw a bunch of cards to kind of prep for the next round kind of thing. But we find expedition matches are just good to kind of go quickly through and play out. Cool. Well, so yeah, I guess it passes back to Mark, and it's you're ahead and ready to go.
Then you can
finally got
search
the-
for the treasure.
You can.
Um,
And I'm gonna.
And you're gonna?
I'm gonna.
All right.
Nice. So yeah, so this is where like if we're doing a full length game, basically what happens is once someone successfully searches for the treasure, high tide sweeps in, which is basically where all of your ships and pirates and shanties go away, and you start fresh with the next one. And so it provides a nice counterbalance where the person who didn't get the treasure usually has a lot more cards in their hand and is in a better position to get the next treasure. And so it kind of becomes this pendulum back and forth.
Yep.
But yeah, so anyways, that's Here Be Monsters with a full deck of cards with all these intricacies. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Cool.
playing.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mark and Eric, for hopping on with us and playing today. Hope you guys had a good
Absolutely.
time.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
All right,
great.
I'm gonna deafen real quick, go say goodbye to everybody, and then we can come back and kind of just decompress and chat for a little bit, and then we'll get to it. So I will be right back, friends.
Cool.
All right, say goodbye to everybody. Goodbye, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
It's fine. I don't know what I'm pressing half the time. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Y'all, Here Be Monsters hopefully will come out soon. And we'll kind of get to it. And yeah, every kind of loss we did talk. Carson and I have talked about it, and I want to keep it a little secret for now. Keep it a little secret because we do have some like stuff and everything.
How you doing, you?
Thank you so much for coming, a crewmate. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And cheers to you. Cheers to you. Thank you so much for coming, a crewmate. Help me stay hydrated. Thank you so much. And yes, to answer the question, how did I get the idea for creating Captain Marlowe? So it was actually for a LARP. Marlowe was made for a LARP where I NPC'd and everything, and he kind of became this really fun character that he kind of led one side of the game. We were in two different factions. And so he was the captain, the head leader of one of the NPC factions. And so he was the one kind of giving missions out to the players and whatnot. So he kind of was born there. A friend of mine, he helped work on it with me. And then from there, once the game was over, I asked him if it was cool if I kept Captain Marlowe and everything. And if I could, because like we worked on it together, but I wanted to like own Marlowe's name and everything. And he said, sure, because like, we're just buddies. And so he let me keep it. And he's done some art for me in the past and whatnot. But I made like Marlowe's I made what he looked like. My friend helped me create backstory for him, which I took and ran with, and I've created so much more lore and backstory behind it because it was very simplistic at the time. And now Marlowe is a very fun and complicated character that has a lot of trauma from my own life that I filmed in with some of his backstory, and it just kind of erupted from there. But really, it's just that. So, but anyway, I've now ranted too long. Thank you all so much for joining. I will be back on hopefully Tuesday with some more games. Like I said, Monday, Wednesdays, I have a different job I need to go to make some little extra money on the side. So I will not be streaming on Monday or Wednesdays anymore. So I'll be trying to push the stream on Tuesdays, but we'll have to see because having 2 extra jobs as well as my full-time job on top of that is just a lot for me. So that's why I really do value these Saturday streams with friends, and so on. But if you haven't already joined the Discord, all the links are in all the places you can find them. On Twitch, they're just below. In YouTube, they're in my description. So you guys are welcome to join me there. And without further ado, y'all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ever Kind of Lost. There's my Discord. So if you're in Twitch, there you go. So when I create a plane, will you play it? Pokegirl, let me know when you create it and we'll take a look at it and possibly. I can't give you any promises because I don't know where I'm going to be in my life whenever you get it created. But I'm always love to help, promote, my all you guys because I do this because you guys seem to like it and you guys enjoy it and your support is what keeps me going. So thank you guys so much. Cool. Well, y'all have a good rest of your night and I'll say goodbye for my 18th time and do my good, classic Western or not Western, Midwestern goodbye. So y'all, a good night, good day, happy time zone. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye.